As of Monster Hunter 4, the game has 14 main series weapons for the hunters to choose from. Asking Monster Hunter fans which weapon is the best is pointless, as all weapons have their own fans. You can look up things like motion value and damage per second, but that's not what makes hunters stick with their main weapon. True, over the game's iterations, some weapons have gotten stronger and others have gotten weaker, but that doesn't always persuade fans to switch. I absolutely love the fact that hunters have a weapon that just feels right to them. The suggestion is for first-timers to try out every weapon and see what they are comfortable with. The process of testing out each weapon is a magical moment, like finding your wand at Ollivander's in Harry Potter. Players will eventually find that one weapon that clicks with them. With every weapon being fairly balanced and nuanced, players can spend a long time learning their chosen weapon. Some players grow so fond of their main weapon that they find the other weapons as almost unusable to them. While there are dozens of expertly made, highly detailed tutorial videos out there for all the weapons, they don't really capture how the weapon's playstyle feels like. What makes hunters fall in love with their main weapon? So I went to the Monster Hunter Reddit to look up as many threads as I could and ask hunters of different weapons, what is the poetry behind the playstyle that makes them fiercely loyal to their weapon? I got as many insights as I could and compiled them. So this series is dedicated to articulating just what is it about these weapons that make them so special. For this video, it is all about the swords. Whether you like it extra vanilla, extra large, extra long, or extra extra, these weapons give you a real edge in combat. Greatsword is one of the most popular weapons, and for very good reason. Few can match the unbridled power that comes from one swing of the mighty weapon. In one hit, you bring power, pain, and authority. The devastating level 3 charge has so much impact. The weapon is heavy and bulky, but this helps add to the feeling of chopping off huge chunks of the monster's health with one hit. The Greatsword does not chip away at the monster's life. The Greatsword is a wall breaker. You bet everything in one swing, which makes the monsters flinch, cuts off its tails, or break its parts. With a relatively simple moveset, it forces the hunter to divert its attention to the monster. The Greatsword hunter learns how the monster moves and how to read it. The Greatsword has one powerful move that takes forever to wind up, so hunters need to know where the monster is going to be 10 years from now. It also has a few useful tricks to help defend against monsters, and these tricks are better than average. But to this hunter, the hunt is decided in one moment. Your moves are simple, but the timing must be perfect. This is not for the faint of heart, as you match a monster head-on, like an insane game of chicken. You match its power with your own power. Wrong timing will have the monster run over you. But when you get a fully charged swing to connect, you send the monster reeling in pain as you assert your dominance as the alpha predator. They have been weighed, they have been measured, and the monsters have been found absolutely wanting. As one deadly arc leads into another, few weapons can match the beauty of the Longsword. They have the reach and power of the Greatsword, but also the grace and sticking power of the sword and shield. Longsword users have so many possibilities in attacking, as most attacks can connect to the Fade Slash, rolls, or a Spirit combo. However, every strike of the Longsword is measured. Hunters have to maximize the time they have engaged with the monster and squeeze in as many swings as they can before they disengage. But even the evasive Fade Slash is a final insult to the monster as the hunter retreats or repositions. Longsword hunters learn when to commit to their combos and when to cut it short. The charge mechanic of the Longsword adds an interesting layer to the weapon. Landing the right moves adds even more power to the weapon, which ensures that the Longsword hunters are always on the offensive, but are always mindful of the right time to strike. It might have a long build-up, but landing a fully charged combo is exhilarating. When the spirit gauge is filled, it becomes a flurry of slashes. When it all clicks, it becomes a tango of death with the monster. Moves, counter moves, dodges, all the while dishing out damage and building up to a climactic flourish. There is a reason why so many longsword looks like katanas. You feel like a samurai, dodging your enemy's strikes flawlessly as you punish their openings with your own sword strikes. And all of this is done with the longsword's signature style and panache. What's the point of hunting monsters when you don't look cool doing it? Measure twice, cut once. Well-rounded, versatile, jack of all trades. These might be the words used to describe the sword and shield. However, it does not cover what makes the sword and shield truly shine. Options. They have options for offense. With quick and agile strikes, they can combo from just about any of their moves and lead into their infinite combos. They have options for defense. Whether it is blocking, dodging, or using items, sword and shield can adapt to any attack the monster throws. They have options for support. Since they can use items while their weapon is drawn out, sword and shield hunters can use items that most hunters would neglect, like True Demon Horn or Portable Steam Bombs. The sword and shield hunter is offensive, defensive, and supportive all at the same time. Some might think that the sword and shield hunter's offensive power is negligible compared to all the other weapons. What they don't account for is the fact that the sword and shield hunter is always in the fray. With many defensive options, there is very little for the hunter not to be in the scrap. They are the harasser. The options of the sword and shield extend to their armor and tactics too. There are many ways to build and play a sword and shield hunter. They don't need a particular skill to complement their weapon. Everything they get is just icing on the cake. Whether they are ramping up elemental damage, applying status constantly, or providing tactical support with items and skills, sword and shield always has options. They should not be underestimated. Sword and Shields has hundreds of ways to take down a monster. They just need to choose one. Sometimes you just have to throw caution to the wind, become a blender of death, and spin to win. Dual Blade Hunters are speed demons, slicing at everything, running circles around the monster, and dodging attacks by the skin of their teeth. Dual Blades is the fastest weapon and it makes use of its speed. Their quick attacks and low recovery times allows them to react to any situation. They don't have to commit to long animation swings and can punish small openings that slower weapons wouldn't be able to. Dual Blades is a deadly dance where the hunter is in control of the battle. Slashes, spin attacks, sidestepping, evade attacks, it is also pure, raw, visceral, and elegant. As if they needed more incentive, the Demon Mode mechanic encourages aggressive play, making sure that the Dual Blade Hunter is always charging full hog at a monster like a cat getting a tummy rub. Learning when to activate Demon Mode does require some understanding of the moveset and the monster, and since it drains stamina, it teaches the Dual Blade Hunter to make the most of the moment. Despite looking like a feral bloodthirsty honey badger, the Dual Blade Hunter is always in control. Executing the modes, dashes, rolls, and combos expertly makes it extremely satisfying and incredibly cool. Whether using status, elements, or raw damage, the ferocity of the Dual Blades turns the hunter into a windmill of mass destruction. The maelstrom never stops, so neither should you. Rip apart whatever is in your way. Thanks for watching. If you are curious about the other weapons, consider subscribing. This series will tackle all 14 of them. Until our paths cross again, see you, Blade Master.